Jai Sachidanand, Fabi, Paulina. Paulina, yes. Rosa, Cecilia.
Jai Sachidanand.
Yes, Sandra.
Jai Sachidanand.
Carlos. Maria.
Jai Sachidanand Shuddha.
Jai Sachidanand, Cristian.
Jai Sachidanand, Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand. Kande, Evangelina, Marcelina, Maria, everyone. Shuddhatma Bhagwan, Cecilia, and the Paramatma Rose, and the Paramatma, the Absolute One within each one of you. We gather here at the feet of our Lord, that one who is within us for this Saturday morning, so that we can be graced with the truth and love that is beyond words and intellect. Yes.
Acá estamos este sábado a los pies de Dada, con todo el puro amor que nos da.
Beyond the intellect and beyond any divisiveness, beyond any differentiation between you and I. You see, you and I is intellect, and I and I everywhere. I in you is the self, you see, the prajna. I and I am everywhere, you see, and this is who I am. In you too is prajna speaking, you see, is prajna. If prajna could speak, that's what it would say.
Nos reunimos acá, más allá del intelecto, y nos reunimos desde el verdadero ser que está en todos lados. Y es este prajna el que habla.
Paulina, do you have the Tri Mantra with you, Paulina?
¿Tenés?
Voy a buscarlo.
Yeah. Take your time. Yeah, take your time.
Tómate tu tiempo, tranquila.
Sí. Aquí está. Ok. Namo Vitaragai, Namo Airantanam, Namo Sidanam, Namo Ayariyanam, Namo Vasayanam, Namo Loyesawasahunam, Esopanchanam Mukaro, Sawavapavapanasano, Mangalam Nam Chasawesim, Padaman Avai Mangalam. Om Namo Bhagavat Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand. Jai Sachidanand. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Andres, I would like for you to recite the same, my friend.
Okay. Namo Vitragai, Namo Arihantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Ayariyanam, Namo Vatsayanam, Namo Loye Sawasahunam, Eso Pantanamukaro, Sawapa Wapanasano, Mangalanam Tasabesin, Padanam Havai Mangalam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Jai Sachidanand. Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand. Jai Sachidanand. Wonderful. So, Cristian, good morning. Jai Sachidanand, Shuddhatma Bhagwan.
Jai Sachidanand, Shuddhatma Bhagwan, Shuddhatma Bhagwan para todos.
Jai Sachidanand. Yes. All right. Cristian, yeah, I would like for you to do the prayer to the pure soul.
Okay.
And prayer to the pure soul, I would like for you to say it once, and also, you know, in your own words, explain to them about this prayer.
Okay, let me find it, because on the Charamiri, please.
Si tenés el Charambidi viejo, página 21.
Sí. Ajá, ok. Tengo invocación al alma pura, ahí está. Página 22 la tengo. Okay. I read it in Spanish.
Yes, please.
Okay. Oh alma pura dentro de mí, tú resides en mí en el interior, como resides en el interior de todos los seres vivos. Tu forma divina es mi auténtica forma. Mi forma auténtica es Vishuddhatma, alma pura. Oh Vishuddhatma Bhagwan, con infinita devoción yo te saludo. Te confieso todos mis errores que haya cometido en mi estado de ignorancia. Sinceramente me arrepiento por estos errores y te pido perdón. Por favor, perdóname, 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 y dame las fuerzas para no volver a repetir estos errores. Oh Vishuddhatma Bhagwan, bendícenos por favor a todos con tal gracia que esta separación de ti pueda llegar a su fin y podamos todos alcanzar la unidad contigo, podamos permanecer formando uno contigo por todos los tiempos.
Just in your own words, how, let's share with your people how you see this pure soul prayer, Cristian.
Ok, Shuddha me pide que yo les diga mis propias palabras, qué es lo que yo, cómo interpreto yo esto de el alma pura, esta invocación al alma pura, mis propias palabras. Yo la interpreto como invocar aquello que ya está, que ya vive dentro de nosotros, de lo cual no somos conscientes, aquello que es lo real y aquello que nos permite la unión con el todo y la unión con nosotros mismos. Es aquella parte de nosotros que vibra o está en el conocimiento absoluto y la cual, por lo menos yo he podido un poquito así vivir y sentir y acceder a lo que podríamos denominar el ser, algo que creía realmente imposible. Y la llamo de alguna manera, aunque no debería llamarla en ninguna parte porque está dentro de mí. Solo lo hago consciente. Y para mí esa es la invocación al alma pura.
Thank you, my dear friend. Okay, now Fabiana, I would like for you, in your own words, to share this, what this means to you, this prayer to the pure soul.
Me pidió que haga lo mismo y Jay Sachitanan es rendirme a ese alma pura, es rendir todo, es tratar de estar todo el tiempo en conciencia, como dijo Chris. Es no olvidarme, es mantenerme separado y rendida a hasta Vishuddhatma que tengo adentro. Para mí es eso. Ese sentimiento de unidad con mayúscula que no sabía que existía hasta que en Brasilia tomé el Akram. Gracias.
Thank you, my dear friend. Damian, in your own words, now just share what this what this magnificent words of Dada mean for you?
It is to remember. Es acordarme de quién soy. Es como activar algo con esas palabras y acordarme quién soy. That's it.
Okay. You understand, Paulina? Paulina, you understand?
Yes.
It's so beautiful. You see, as we see this, as we see each other in front of, evidences bring us all in front of each other this Saturday morning.
Vemos las evidencias de esta mañana, son las evidencias que nos traen y vemos todas estas evidencias un sábado en la mañana.
These evidences are scientific. Scientific means there is no one actively doing it. There is no one planning and doing it. It is just one evidence, another evidence, another evidence, and it next thing we know, we are all on Zoom, you see.
Estas evidencias son científicas, significa que no hay nadie haciéndolas, nadie planeándolas, simplemente vienen una detrás de las otras y estamos un sábado en la mañana en Zoom.
Yes, and so the evidence is then it is the evidence of the eyes, these physical eyes, that we see the shapes, you see, of the faces of each one here. It is the evidence of these ears that we can hear the voices of our Mahatma friends.
Y son las evidencias de nuestros ojos, de nuestra visión, que podemos ver a cada uno de los que están acá, y las evidencias de nuestros oídos que podemos escuchar.
It is the evidence of the intellect that we begin to understand what is being said. Yes,
Son las evidencias del intelecto que podemos entender aquello que está siendo dicho.
And it is the final evidence is the evidence of our presence, our awakened presence here as the Amapura, that we see and we receive them at a very special place, you see. We begin to see and understand at a higher level what is happening, you see.
Y es la evidencia final el poder estar acá con nuestra alma pura, el poder ver nuestra alma pura, el poder despertar nuestra alma pura, la conciencia, y poder ver lo que está sucediendo aquí a ese nivel, en esa conciencia.
The ignorance that was there in the past were resulted in anger, pride, deceit, and greed, and those were the faults, you see. Ignorance of the past was ignorance, anger, pride, deceit, and greed, and those were the faults, you see.
La ignorancia del conocimiento es la que nos tenía antiguamente en la ira, el orgullo, la codicia y el engaño. Esas son las razones. La ausencia del Nan, la ausencia del conocimiento es la que nos mantiene. Ese es el error, esa es la ignorancia.
And the awakened one now, the one who is awakened within, is able to see the nature of those faults that happened, that used to happen, but now with this new beautiful direct connection with the pure soul, they are seen separate, you see, they are seen separate.
Y esa ausencia de conocimiento es la que se ha ahora quebrado y es lo que se ha despertado, es esa conciencia la que se ha despertado dentro de nosotros, ese despierto, eso que se ha despertado dentro de nosotros a través del Nan y está presente ahora en nosotros.
Yeah, and these faults may not have happened with any one of us present here, but if we want to see any faults that have happened with anyone present here, because each one of We are each other's colleagues, you see. At the relative level, we are colleagues. We are passengers on the same train, you see.
Y esto no habría ocurrido sin la presencia de nosotros acá en el relativo, porque nosotros somos colegas en el relativo, somos pasajeros del mismo tren. Sin el relativo estos errores no hubiesen ocurrido.
And so, you know, our own light, the light that is within me and within you of the Amapura, is so bright that it allows us to see even those subtle faults, you see. Yeah.
Y la luz que está dentro de nosotros, la luz del alma pura, es una luz tan fuerte que nos permite ver incluso esas sutiles faltas.
Yes, and we also are aware that you know, we are aware of the science behind it. We begin to see that it cannot happen through you and I. We are pure, we're absolutely pure.
Y estamos conscientes de la luz que hay detrás del conocimiento que hay detrás de esto, porque esto no puede ocurrir sin nosotros, sin la luz pura que está ahí.
Yeah, and this word Prabhu, 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 P-R-A-B-H-U is a very beautiful.
Y esta
word.
palabra Prabhu, este concepto Prabhu, P-R-A-B-H-U, es muy hermoso.
It is a simple word for Deus, you say, Prabhu, Prabhu, Prabhu.
Es una simple palabra para Dios.
Yeah, you see, and so it is such a beautiful and an easy way to directly be with the Lord, you see. Be with the Lord, whether you and I look at Andres or Fabi or Patricia or Paulina, you see, we are with the Lord.
Es una forma tan simple para estar con el Señor, sea que nos estemos mirando los unos a los otros, simplemente es una forma tan simple de estar con Él.
Such a simple, easy, direct entrance into the presence of the Lord. Direct entrance into the presence of the Lord. You see, direct.
Y es una entrada directa y tan simple a la presencia del Señor, es una entrada tan simple a la presencia del Señor.
Direct presence. See?
A la directa presencia.
Yeah. Without, and where the Lord is, there are no faults. So where the Lord exists, there are no faults at all. There is only history, only history and geography, history and geography. You see.
Y en la presencia del Señor solo hay. Can you repeat that, Shuddha, please?
Where the Lord is, there are no faults. There is only the history and the geography of the land. You know, the geography of the body and the geography of where it happened. You know.
Cuando está la presencia del Señor no hay falta, está todo perfecto. Solo está la presencia de la geografía, de lo que uno ve.
Yeah, history, geography.
Y la historia, la geografía de lo que
Yeah.
sucede.
In the geography of the maps of the mind, you see.
Y la geografía de los mapas de la mente.
You know, so much has been painted, but what difference does it make? That, you see, we have, in essence, conquered the mind, and conquering the mind is through this very simple prayer. You see, if the mind bothers you with reference, if the mind bothers you with reference to some somebody else, then you're directly. Is this my phone or your phone or somebody's phone?
No, it's my phone. I'm gonna.
Not a problem. And that reminds me, while you were talking about your phone, I just need to do something with my phone, so I'll be right with you. Okay, 1 minute.
Okay. Él tiene que hacer algo con su teléfono mientras yo apago el mío, porque no sé, alguien está insistiendo un poquito mucho.
So we were speaking about the geography of the mind and the history of the mind, you see.
Estábamos hablando de la geografía y la historia de la mente.
Yeah, in the school we study history and geography. We study the history about Queen Elizabeth. What difference does it make sitting in Argentina about learning about the royal history? What difference does it make?
Nosotros en el colegio estudiamos la historia, por ejemplo, de la reina Isabel, la geografía, cuál es la importante, cuál es la diferencia que tenemos de aprender esas cosas en el colegio o en la escuela.
You know, if you study the history, you will learn about barbarism, you see. And what difference does it make? What is it? The real history and the geography is in the mind. And just by saying, soy Amapura, I am the blissful one, you're free from this geography and this history.
Estudiamos la historia de los bárbaros o cosas por el estilo y cuál es la diferencia. Simplemente al estudiar la geografía de la mente nosotros podemos entender y levantarnos desde ahí, entender, y con esa simple conexión de decir yo soy alma pura, logramos hacer ese cambio, entrar en esa vibración.
Yeah, so easy. It's absolutely easy, because otherwise, my friends, we human beings suffer so much trying to,
Lo podemos hacer de manera tan fácil.
Trying to run away from that which has happened, you see. Trying to kind of, trying to become free from the history and the geography of the mind, you see.
Mientras otros seres humanos tratan de huir de lo que ha pasado, de liberarse de la historia y la geografía de la mente.
It's called trauma, you see.
Se llama trauma.
Trauma of man, humankind, you see. And human beings were not meant to suffer like that, you see. Human beings were not meant to suffer like these. They are meant to be the masters, the absolute emperors of their mind. And you can become the emperor. You become the emperor of the mind through the grace of this one, this Gnani Purush, you see, that we have met, you see.
Y es el drama humano, perdón, yo dije trauma. Era el drama, es el drama que vivimos, el drama que vivimos en la Tierra. No estaba pensado el ser humano para que viviese ese drama. El ser humano estaba pensado para ser el maestro, el amo de su mente y poder vivir las cosas de una manera distinta.
Yeah, you used the word drama. I was using the word trauma. All right, but both are the same.
Okay, it was trauma. I thought I was wrong. Era trauma. Yo pensé que yo me había equivocado.
Yeah, right. Yes, it's a trauma because you get traumatized. You see, you did this to me. I did this to him. Oh, I feel so sorry. I did this to him. You see, but this is, it's history. You see.
Es trauma porque yo me siento traumatizado, porque yo hice esto al otro, porque me hizo esto aquí, me hizo esto acá. Entonces yo me siento traumatizado.
Yeah. And it just carries on like that. You see, I'm sorry you're going to get a little bit of this noises, because I'm expecting an important call from India, but I do not want to answer them. Okay, all right. All right. Yes, so my friends, this is everyone. Sandra, you want to say anything about this prayer to the pure soul, Sandra? Do you want to say anything about the prayer to the pure soul, what it means to you?
¿Quieres decir algo lo que significa la invocación al alma pura, Sandra, para lo que significa para ti?
Me parece como que es el vivir en el ser real. El Nan nos dio la conciencia de quiénes somos y la invocación al alma pura es recordarnos quién somos para vivir en el ser real, sabiendo que el resto es una película.
Okay, what did she say?
She says that it's the way that she connects to know that we live in the real self and the other thing is relative.
Yes, yes, it is a, yes, it is a, yes, it is such a simple way of entering the real, you know?
Sí, es una forma tan simple de entrar en lo real.
Yeah, yes, it is such, you know, human beings have always found the concept of a God very, very, very difficult to really materialize in their hand. You see, it remains concept. You see, they cannot grasp. They can grasp everything, but they cannot grasp the Lord. You see.
Los seres humanos, sí, es cierto, es una forma tan directa, tan simple. Los seres humanos siempre hemos buscado un concepto de Dios para poder atrapar, pero ha sido un concepto tan difícil para poder materializarlo. Siempre hemos estado buscando, pero lo hemos podido tomar.
Yeah, it is the grace of all graces to really be able to touch God, touch. Just like you touch your hand and you know you have touched in the same way. Yeah, this has happened for us, you see, this exactness has happened for us, the experience of the Lord.
Es la gracia de todas las gracias poder tocar directamente a Dios, poder tener la experiencia. Eso nos ha ocurrido a nosotros, el poder sentir la experiencia y tocarla.
Yeah, this is called the experience of the Lord is now direct, and direct experience is called sakshat. Sakshatkar. It is a phenomenal happening. You see, now I gave you the Gujarati word, but don't you worry about it. It's in the chat. It's sakshatkar means sakshatkar means what? So, what is sakshatkar? What is the direct experience? What is the direct experience?
El nombre en Gujarati es Sakshatkar, es la verdadera, la directa experiencia del Señor, la directa, eso es.
In simple words, it can be said for someone who has never tasted sugar in his life. You can keep on speaking about that for, you can fill up a whole encyclopedia explaining it to him. But, you can just say, come here, open your mouth, and you take a spoon of sugar and stick it in his mouth and say, okay.
Es como el que no ha tenido nunca la experiencia de probar azúcar o lo dulce, y tú le puedes dar toda una teoría y hablarle toda una enciclopedia de cómo es la experiencia del azúcar, pero todo se reduce a que tú tomes un poquito de algo dulce de azúcar y le digas ven acá, ven acá, ven acá, y se lo dejes en la boca. Y todo se reduce a eso.
But the sense of the taste of the sugar is conveyed through the senses, through the sense, the texture of the sugar, the melting of the sugar on the tongue, the sweetness, etc. All of that stuff. This one is bypassing those five senses, directly bypassing the mind, directly bypassing the five senses, and lands you in the exactness of who am I? Who am I in this? You see, that is why my dear friends Cristian and Damian and all of you who have described this are able to say this so beautifully, so say this so beautifully in terms of my own experience of who am I, you see.
Pero es la experiencia del azúcar se vive a través de los cinco sentidos, pero acá es como que se vive esta experiencia bypaseando los cinco sentidos, bypaseando la mente, y se llega directamente a la experiencia del ser.
So we welcome Juan Carlos from Tenerife. There was another gentleman who kind of briefly showed himself, and then He's not here right now. That's fine. I meant to recognize him.
Entonces le damos la bienvenida a Juan Carlos de Tenerife y había otra persona que estuvo un ratito acá que no sabe quién es, que no fue capaz de reconocerlo.
We welcome everyone. You know, those who are here in Satsang. This is a Satsang that primarily can be interrupted at any time. It's not something that you can say, no, wait for your turn, or come in order. This one here, you can just interrupt anytime, right?
Le damos la bienvenida a todos los que vienen al satsang, y esto es algo que puede ser interrumpido en cualquier minuto, no es algo que tenga una estructura que digamos, no hable esto, no lo otro. Si alguien tiene una pregunta o algo, lo puede hacer.
All right, so what I'm going to do now is today is our Maria Paz. Who is Maria Paz? May I see her, Maria?
María Paz, ¿podrías abrir tu cámara, por favor?
If you can, if you're able to.
Si puedes. There it is.
Hello. Oh, yes. Jai Sachidanand, Maria. Jai Sachidanand. Yes, Jai Sachidanand. Maria, you're a new Mahatma, are you?
¿Eres una nueva Mahatma, María Paz?
Sí.
Welcome, we welcome you.
Te damos la bienvenida.
Yeah.
Gracias.
Yes, Maria. Did you just join us? Did you hear about the prayer to the pure soul so far that we were reciting? Did you just join us?
¿Tú entraste recién? ¿Pudiste escuchar lo de la invocación o la oración al alma pura, que es de la cual estábamos hablando?
Escuché lo de la... Sí.
Yes, she could do it.
And you heard of Cristian's explanation of it and Fabiana's explanation of it, right? You heard all of those.
¿Y escuchaste la explicación de Cristian y de Fabiana y de Sandra respecto a eso?
Yes.
Sí.
Yeah. So along the lines of those, we just say that this is how we greet you. We greet the Lord within you. We say you and I are one. You see. We say we welcome you, and you and I are one. That's exactly what you are is who I am, and the other is this Shuddha sitting somewhere in the United States, and you are there, Maria. This is Maria and Shuddha, and you and I, by our nature, are one. By our real nature, are the same, are one.
Y así es como te damos la bienvenida a través de reconocerte como una, a la vez reconocer tu ser interno. Y Shuddha está en Estados Unidos, nosotros estamos en otro lugar, pero así te damos la bienvenida a través de reconocer tu alma pura, tu ser interno.
Yes, so that by being there, you and I can see the differences that exist in the geography and the history of the mind that is by its very nature temporary, and just like a river that is just flowing. Yes, it's a flowing river.
Al estar ahí podemos ver la historia y la geografía de la mente que existe en nosotros, en cada uno, y es como simplemente el fluir de un río.
Yeah, you see, the mind is like a flowing river. Sometimes it flows gently within its banks, within its boundaries, and sometimes it overflows and just goes all over, you see.
La mente es como el fluir de un río. Algunas veces fluye dentro de su cauce y fluye dentro de sus fronteras, y alguna vez simplemente se sale y se sale fuera de sus fronteras el río.
You see, by being aware of it, you remain above this mind, right? By being aware of it, we become safe, we remain undisturbed, you see.
Y al estar consciente de esto, puedes estar más arriba de la mente, puedes observar el proceso que está ocurriendo.
Yeah, you understand, Maria?
¿Se entiende, María?
Yes, right. You see, if you have difficulty being in the five agnas or any of the agnas, come back to this prayer to the pure soul that our dear Cristian recited. You see, come back to it and look at it again and again. There is something very deep and magnificent in every sentence and every word of it.
Si tienes dificultades o sientes dificultades para mantenerte dentro de los 5 agnas, puedes volver a esta invocación al alma pura y mantenerte dentro de ahí. Hay algo tan directo, tan sutil, tan profundo ahí para poder volver.
Yes.
Yes.
Which are
Thank
you? Yes. Are you in Argentina or are you in Chile, María?
¿Estás en Argentina o en Chile?
En Chile.
Chile. All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. All right. Roberto Cono. Roberto, would you like to say hello to us, my friend? Roberto.
Roberto Cono, ¿querrías decirnos hola?
If you feel like it. If you don't feel like it, that's fine too. We understand. We understand the geography of the mind and the history, not a problem if you don't.
Si te sientes cómodo, si no te sientes cómodo, está todo bien, entendemos la historia y la geografía de la mente.
All right, yes. What's Marcela? What is going on in the geography of and the history of the mind, Marcela?
Marcela, ¿qué está ocurriendo en la historia y la geografía de la mente, Marcela?
Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Sabes qué? Que tengo que decir algo, hay que ser bien sincera.
She wanna be very sincere.
El relativo está cambiando. No es que uno siga con su relativo tal cual era.
The relative one is changing. It's not that you go on with the relative the same as it was before.
No. Sí. Mi relativo está cambiando de una forma muy rápida.
The relative is changing in a very fast or speedy way.
Yes. And
tengo un poco de aprehensión. No sé si puedes traducir esa palabra.
Sí, I have some kind of apprehension about that.
Porque a veces el relativo quiere dejar todo lo que era.
Because sometimes the relative wants to get rid of everything that it was.
Todo. Y los archivos que tengo,
all the files,
la familia,
all the files, all the family, everything.
Todo. Entonces tengo temor porque ¿sabes por qué ocurre esto, Cristian? Porque me siento mayor, no soy una niña. Entonces no tengo tiempo para estar ecuanimizando tanto archivo. No sé si me entiendes. No.
Voy a traducir.
Sí,
And it happens because I'm old. I'm getting old, so I don't have time to get equanimity on each one of the files.
Claro. Entonces a veces me pregunto si es correcto dejar todo atrás.
And sometimes I ask myself, if it is correct to put everything aside and leave everything behind.
Okay. Okay. Right. Very interesting, and I'm glad you shared this first of all.
Es muy interesante. Estoy feliz de que hayas compartido esto primero que todo.
So, who is getting old, my friend?
¿Y quién se está volviendo más viejo, mayor, querida amiga?
El relativo se está volviendo mayor.
The relative is getting older.
And what has that got to do with you?
¿Y qué tiene que hacer eso o qué tiene que ver contigo?
Tiene que ver con el tiempo que me queda para iluminar mi alma pura. El tiempo que me queda para iluminar.
It has to do with the time that I've got left to enlighten my pure soul or myself.
Oh, just go slowly. Wait a minute. You said it has to do with the time that I have left to enlighten myself?
Yep.
Time for you to enlighten yourself.
El tiempo para iluminar a tu persona, tu ser.
Sí, siento que he perdido mucho tiempo en esta encarnación y tengo recuerdos breves de encarnaciones pasadas, igual, no haciendo nada, ¿entiendes?
Sí.
Inútiles, encarnaciones inútiles.
I feel that I have lost a lot of time in this incarnation, and I have these like flashes of before incarnations that I have been very, very
inútil.
without purpose, without any purpose, we can say.
Yeah. What can you see? Are you aware of any river of this on this earth of ours that just flows straight to the ocean?
¿Tú has visto algún río en la geografía de este planeta que vaya directamente al mar o al océano?
No.
Yeah, you see, and it flows, yet its nature, the nature of the river is to find the ocean, you see.
Fluye y la naturaleza del río es encontrar el océano.
Yeah, but in the process of going there is a land over which it has no control, you see.
Pero en el proceso de llegar ahí hay una tierra sobre la cual el río no tiene ningún control.
Yes. That is, we're talking of physical geography, you see.
Estamos hablando de la geografía física.
And also the time it takes is a history, you know, the water that was there in the Andes, you see, that water, by the time it reaches the Atlantic, it takes its own time. There is a certain time that it takes, you see.
Y el tiempo que se demora es historia, el tiempo que se demora en llegar al Atlántico, por ejemplo, es historia.
Yes, so this that is physical history and geography,
y eso es historia y geografía física.
And if you want to look at the river of the soul, that is that soul of Marcella, the soul's journey, life after life after life after life after life, until the Gnani Vidhi, it's just endless. It has been endless. It's been going on and on and on, you see, until this period of the Gnani Vidhi, until the time of the Gnani Vidhi, you see.
Y si quisieras ver la geografía, la historia de geografía de ese fluir, de ese río, de la historia de Marcela, de vida tras vida, es algo que no tiene final, es infinito estar mirando esa geografía antes de el Gnani Vidhi.
You see, and what happened? What happened is,
y lo que ha sucedido es,
what happened is that you realize that there is, you realize a shortcut. You realize a direct entry into the ocean. You realize that in fact you are the ocean, and you believed that you were the river, you see.
Y lo que has encontrado es un acceso directo, un atajo al océano, y te has dado cuenta de que tú eres el océano, que no eres el río.
You see, by believing I also Marcella, I am this body, I have to do this, I have to enlighten myself, I have to purify myself, I have to spend my time in a better way. All of this was like being the river, you see, being the river.
Y al creer que tú eres Marcela, de que tienes que iluminar a Marcela, que tienes que mejorar a Marcela y que no tienes que gastar tanto tiempo, es simplemente has creído que eres el río.
I see. Is this mind yours anymore? Is this your mind really?
¿Esta mente es tuya ya o realmente es tuya esta mente hoy?
You have become the neighbor of the mind, you see. You are aware of the mind. You have risen above the mind. You have been lifted up from this tortuous travel as the river. I am this body, you see.
¿O te has convertido en la vecino de la mente? ¿Te has levantado más arriba de la mente y has dejado este viaje tortuoso a través de el río?
Yes, temporarily it may feel this way. You feel this way. What you described is a feeling of you're lifted up from the river and you are absolutely dry, but you feel, no, you're still wet, you see. You're still a little wet,
Y este sentimiento que tienes es que ocurre y que has sido en este minuto sacada del río o levantada del río y estás seca, pero tú aún te sientes mojada.
You see, it feels as if it is happening to you. That is called Lepaiman Bhavo. You see, it is like...
Y sientes como que te está ocurriendo a ti, eso se llama Lepaya Mambhavo.
You see, in the temples of India, we have many statues, of different gods, And the priest early in the morning, what he does is he takes off the old flowers and all decorations, and then, he washes the beautiful Lord with whatever the shape of the Lord is, and then he applies beautiful paste on it. You see, yellow paste, and then he rubs it off, and then he applies more water and he rubs it off, and then he completely rubs it off, you see.
Tú ves en los templos de la India, en la mañana hay templos con muchos dioses y aparece el sacerdote o la persona que está encargada y saca las flores del día anterior y pone una pasta amarilla encima de las estatuas y las pule y vuelve después a lavarlas y vuelve a poner esa pasta amarilla encima y vuelve a lavarla y pone.
He applies this yellow paste, you see, and he polishes the black or the white marble a lot, you see. He polishes and then he washes it off. He washes it off. And so if these feelings, what you describe are just residual yellow paste in the body. You have been lifted up from this whole, you have risen from this entire river as the Lord God that you are, absolutely without any dirt, you see, absolutely without any dirt. But it feels as if something is still sticking to you. I have to do this. I have to still make good use of my time. I wasted a lot of my time in my life, you see.
Y este sentimiento que tú tienes es como esta pasta amarilla que le colocan a estas estatuas y que queda como un pequeño residuo. Este pequeño residuo, pese a que te has limpiado y todo, queda este pequeño residuo y tú sientes que yo tengo que limpiarme, tengo que hacer esto, tengo que iluminarme de todo pero no es más que ese pequeño residuo de a que te has levantado de la mente, te has levantado de todo esto.
Yeah, I've been through a lot. I have done bad things. Bad things have happened to me. I have done bad things to others. All of these are the residuals of rising above this river of life, you see, that was going in all directions. You have been lifted up in such a magnificent way, never ever to become soiled or tainted again, you see, never ever to become encrusted with any more, you see, any more so-called dirt, you see.
y ha sido limpiada, ha sido levantada y tú puedes tener la sensación de que yo he estado a través de tanto, he pasado tantas cosas, he vivido tantas cosas, pero la realidad es que nunca más te vas a volver a vivir esas cosas, nunca vas a volver a ensuciarte en realidad de nuevo, nunca más vas a tener suciedad o mugre, se dice acá en Chile, no sé cómo será en otros lugares, en otras partes.
Yeah, this, they tend to stick, and, the heavier the ones, especially in the mud, the heavier the heavier the mud and the more dried it became, it feels like, you have just taken a bath, but it's still there, and you take another bath and it's still there, and you take the third bath. In the same way, it is through these baths of these exactness of who am I, the five agnas, this remaining dust will fall off. Is this remaining dust will fall off.
También ocurre lo mismo cuando te sales del barro. En la medida que el barro se va secando, se va haciendo más difícil, se siente peor y te tienes que bañar y sacarte ese polvo una vez y dos veces y tres veces, y después te vas dando cuenta de que ya lo dejaste. Pero ahí es donde se siente más molesto. There's a question, Shuddha.
Yes, yeah. Okay, where is the question from? Who is the question from?
Andrés.
No, was a mistake. Sorry, was a mistake.
Okay, all right, that's fine. All right, Andres. Yeah. So you see, this is called lepai man bhavo. Lep is this. Lep is also. Your joint is hurting. This joint is hurting. They will. Somebody will say, okay, let me apply an ointment. And just rub it up. You see, and or leave it there for a while, and then after, when you take a shower, it goes away. So this is that which was that which tends to stick, that which tends to anoint or smear you, see. And in this travel, in this river of life, from morning till evening, things happen that tend to stick to Marcella, to Sunita, to Monica. It doesn't stick to me. I am the pure, blissful one. It is not happening to me, you see. And this is the one that tends to stick, you see. It feels as if it's happening to me, but it is not, absolutely not happening to you and I anymore. You understand, Marcella?
Voy a tratar de traducirlo todo. Esto se llama lepaya mambao y son estas pequeñas cosas que se van pegando, eso es algo que se está pegando a cada uno de nosotros, se va pegando, pero se van pegando a cada uno de nosotros, pero se van pegando al relativo, no se van pegando al alma, simplemente son cosas que uno va viviendo ahí, las va sintiendo cuando se identifica, como que las vive uno y las pega uno en uno, pero la verdad es que no se están pegando en uno.
My nature, your nature,
Gracias, Fabi.
Our true nature, our true state is such that there is nothing of this relative world, of these rivers of the mind, the body, and the words, you see, that flow around us. Nothing can smear us, taint us, or be ligorous, weigh us down, you see.
Nuestra naturaleza es tal que nada puede en realidad tocarnos, caernos, ensuciarnos, nada puede pesarnos arriba, no hay cosas que podamos, nada nos puede afectar en realidad.
This is exactly how it is. This is exactly how it is. And yes, morning till evening, it will feel like, you're getting smeared. You're getting, oh, I did this, she did this, this happened to me, that happened to her. And that is the old awareness. The new awareness is the awareness that has begun within each one of us.
Y así se puede sentir que simplemente de la mañana a la noche sentimos que algo nos puede dañar o nos puede cargar o nos puede ensuciar, pero ese es el viejo, la mirada antigua, la mirada vieja del relativo, pero en realidad nada de eso ocurre en nosotros.
Yeah, the new awareness is the awakened awareness, my friends, and that is called the Jagruti. Now I am who I am. Now there is nothing that can smear me, that can affect me. There is nothing that can bog me down. Yes, I'm aware that this is happening, but I know exactly who this is happening to, you see.
Y esta es la nueva conciencia del Jagruti. Nada me puede dañar, nada me puede tocar, nada me puede hacer daño, no me puede embarrar, por decirlo de alguna manera. Simplemente es al relativo, pero nada me puede dañar a mí. Esta es la nueva conciencia que hemos adquirido.
And that is that is the only way, my friends. That is the only way of the exact extrication from this very complex and bewildering world. If you're not careful, it will sink you. You see Pablo, my friend, you need to mute yourself, Pablo.
Pablo, necesitas cerrar tu micrófono, por favor.
You see this, because I'm not able to mute him or her, mute him, so Pablo needs to...
Neither do I, so I don't know si alguien puede cerrar el micrófono de Pablo.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. If there is more sound, I will enter into it and mute. But okay, now it's muted. Good. Yes. So you see, Marcella, this in the long life after life time of the journey of the soul that used to believe I also, Marcella, has now been liberated. You have entered into the world, your own world of liberation.
El largo camino del alma, de vida tras vida, de creer que yo soy Marcela, ha terminado y has entrado en otro lugar, en otra conciencia.
And you have entered the dimension that is beyond time. You see, you have entered the dimension that is beyond bhav and intentions. Bhavatitam. You see.
Has entrado en la dimensión que está más allá, más arriba, y la dimensión que está más allá del bhav, de las intenciones.
Yeah, this views, you see, what you described. Oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. I have got very little time to really improve myself. I have been through a lot. I have done so many negative, so-called negative things. And when will I ever have the awareness to really become free from it? All of these, be aware that this is not you.
Esta visión de que he entrado, que tengo poco tiempo, que he hecho tantas cosas malas, que lo he hecho tan mal, esta visión de que me queda poco tiempo, esta visión tienes que darte cuenta que esa visión no eres tú.
You are absolutely not you. You are aware of these views of Beatrice, of Marcella. You see, you're aware of these views. Views belong to Marcella, and you are in a different view. You are in the view of awareness of the view of Marcella. Marcella sees this now. In Satsang, she says, I've got to improve myself. And then immediately when Satsang is over, then you're back into the old ways, you see.
Entonces ahora tú tienes que ver esta visión de Marcela y ahora tú estás consciente de la visión de Marcela, de yo tengo que hacer esto, tengo que hacer lo otro, tengo que estar aquí, tengo que estar... Tú estás consciente de la visión de Marcela.
You understand, my dear? Yes.
¿Entiendes, querida?
Yes. So.
Yes, I do. Thanks.
And then what do you have to...
Una pregunta. Entonces, aunque haya llegado vieja a este camino, ¿eso no se le olvida al alma? Esa es mi pregunta. ¿No voy a volver a repetir la misma tontería otra vida más? Porque es terrible ver para atrás todas las vidas tontas que uno ha tenido. De verdad.
Okay, my question is now, now that I am old and in this life, this is not gonna be repeat all this lack of consciousness. Can you say this will be remembered in next life to my pure soul? My soul will remember this. My being will remember this in the next life that I have. That would be won't be forgotten.
You see, my dear, wherever the word my is applied, you see.
En cualquier lugar quería que la palabra mío se aplique.
Recognize, wherever the word my is applied, recognize there is no Amapura there, you see.
En cualquier lugar que se aplique la frase, la palabra mi, no hay alma pura en ese lugar.
Yes, the Amapura is beyond the my. I plus my is Marcella, and the my has been absolutely sliced in the Gnanvidi and separated from you. The my has now flowing away in the river of the life of Marcella. Marcella will end here, and you will remain as the pure I, you see. You will move on as the pure I. It really doesn't matter now about my life or my next life, you see. The I has none of those anxieties.
El mí ahora ha sido cortado, separado en la ceremonia del Nanvidi, y el mí ahora va vagando o divagando por la vida, pero el yo, Marcela, está consciente de esto.
You see, so what's going to happen to me next life? Who is
Así que lo que me
asking?
está ocurriendo para mí la próxima vida, ¿quién está preguntando eso en realidad?
Who is asking what's going to happen to me in my next life? My next life?
¿Quién está preguntando lo que me va a ocurrir a mí en la próxima vida? ¿Mi próxima vida?
You're asking for another mother, are you not?
Está pidiendo otra madre, ¿o no?
You're asking for another mother, right? You want another mother because in order to have another next life, you have to have another mother, right?
Entonces, ¿por qué estás pidiendo otra madre? Porque de manera de poder tener otra vida vas a tener que tener otra madre, ¿no?
And for the mother, you cannot have just mother only. The mother will have a father.
Pero para tener una madre no vas a poder tener una madre. La madre va a tener que tener un padre también.
Oh, Marcela is smiling. Yes, yeah, basically the 5 agnas is the end of it all. The 5 agnas is the self, you see.
Finalmente los 5 agnas son el fin de todo. Los 5 agnas son el ser.
It's the light, it's the final light, you see.
Es la luz final.
Yeah. Do you have, whatever attachments you've had to this life called Marcela Vivanco and her life, those attachments, if you wanted to let go of them, it would have been impossible, you see.
Cualquiera apegos que hayas tenido a esta vida de Marcela Vivanco, si tú los hubieras querido dejar ir, habría sido imposible.
It's impossible. That is only, and it becomes so easy, like turning on the light in this room. You see, you just turn on the light and you see it as all as it is. You see it all as it is.
Y se ha transformado en algo tan fácil. Has prendido la luz, es como prender la luz en un cuarto y lo ves todo como es.
Yes, so, okay, Vishuddhatma Bhagwan. We welcome Sunita Maritza Belixa.
Le damos la bienvenida a Sunita Maritza Belixa.
In his satsang, so we will take and Beatrice Ron
Beatriz.
Frontera and Roberto Cono and Pablo. And so, we'll take a little break. We'll take a little break and then we return. Well,
Y
then we
vamos a
return.
tomar un pequeño recreo ahora y vamos a volver. De
Yeah.
5, 10.
Yeah, whatever you want. You want.
Okay.
We'll ask Fabi. How many minutes you want?
10.
10. Somebody says
Okay.
5, 10. Okay, so we'll take 10
I have
minutes.
to do the laundry in the middle.
Okay. Do the laundry and get your cup of coffee.
Pueden hacerse un cafecito, lavar, lo que
And
quieran.
I will go and get my cup of masala chai. Okay.
Delicious.
All right.
Él va a
We
hacer su
want.
Él va a hacer su masala chai.
All right, Shuddhatma Bhagavan. Jai Sachidanand. I'll be
Jai
back.
Sachidanand.
Yeah.
Nos vemos en 10 minutos.
Thank you, Jai Sachidanand.
Thank you. Mhm.
वैसे का कभी था बाकिया ना बाकिया जूम करे मनी सकते ही शुद्ध भाई है ना
Okay. I don't know exactly whether the 10 minutes are over or not, but
No sé si terminaron los 10 minutos, pero
we have a very beautifully done Dadavani of July 2010, you see, that we will go to. But in the meantime, let me just say hello to Belixa.
tenemos un Dadavani que vamos a leer del 2010, pero por ahora, hola Belixa.
Beatriz, if you can turn on Beatriz, I think I've
Beatriz.
Lupita, and then Sunita. These are
Lupita y Sunita también.
and Maritza. Everybody with an A ending at the end. So many names ending with an A here. Patricia, Paulina, Fabiana, Evangelina, Sunita. Right. So.
It's the Spanish, you know.
Spanish, yeah. He'll say, yes. Oh, yes, Lupita. You want to say something, Lupita?
Lupita quiere decir algo.
You just want to say Jai Sachidanand, or, and then there is Belixa. Belixa.
Y después está Belixa.
If you don't, until you feel comfortable here, this is fine. You can continue as you are.
Hasta que se sientan cómodos, está bien, pueden continuar de esta manera.
All right. Paulina, how is your son doing? Is your son doing all right now, Paulina?
Paulina, ¿cómo está tu hijo
Not
ahora?
son, maybe it was some other group. Sorry, not your son.
Me parece que era de otro grupo.
I see different groups. I see different ladies, and to me, they're all Vishuddhatma Bhagwans, right?
Veo diferentes grupos y diferentes señoras o ladies, pero a mí son todas Vishuddhatma Bhagwan, alma pura.
So shall we proceed? Well, let's ask Evangelina. Shall we proceed, or what shall we do, Evangelina?
Le vamos a preguntar a Evangelina, ¿debemos seguir o qué hacemos, Evangelina?
Me parece interesante las preguntas que hacen los nuevos Mahatmas.
She finds interesting the question that the Mahatmas can do or can share.
Okay, right, wonderful. There is Belixa. Belixa, hola Belixa. Jai Sachidanand.
Hola Belixa, Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand. Good morning, buen día.
Good morning, bom dia. Yes, wonderful, right. So, okay, can you hear us well?
No.
Yes.
Are you in a place where you can speak, you can talk?
Bueno, yo entiendo, pero creo que prefiero hablar en español.
Si estás en un lugar donde puedas hablar, de donde puedas conversar.
Ahora mismo no. Estaba ahí compartiendo, trabajando mientras tanto, pero me confundí porque entré acá pensando que era la lectura del Charanvidí y me encontré pues como la linda sorpresa porque también había intentado entrar varias veces como a las explicaciones de los 5 ajnas, que creo que es esto. La verdad no estoy segura, pero bueno, lo que sea es una bendición. Entonces, bueno.
Now I'm in a place I'm working. I'm sure I'm co-working in some place, so I cannot talk too much.
That's all right. Yes, it's good to see we do your darshan. We see Belixa and we see the pure soul, the Vishuddhatma Bhagwan in you. Okay.
Es bueno verte. Estamos haciendo el darshan y vemos a Belixa y vemos el alma pura dentro de ella también.
That is enough.
Gracias.
Yeah, we see that is enough, and you see the
Eso es suficiente.
And you see the pure soul in everyone here, okay? You see the pure soul.
Ves también y mira el alma pura en todos los que están acá.
Okay, that's it.
Okay.
That's more than enough. That's more than enough.
Eso es más que suficiente.
Listo.
Yes.
Sí.
All right.
Buenísimo.
All right, good. Let's go to Maritza. How are you, Maritza? Jai Sachidanand Maritza.
Hola Maritza, Jai Sachidanand.
Yes, how is the river of Maritza running? Is she running over rocks or is she just flowing?
¿Cómo está el río de Maritza? ¿Cómo está fluyendo? ¿Está fluyendo en rocas o está simplemente fluyendo?
El mío está fluyendo absolutamente. Las evidencias circunstanciales a veces no me permiten estar en todas las reuniones, pero los escucho después de pasado en la noche antes de dormir.
The river of Maritza is flowing absolutely, and sometimes the circumstances don't allow Maritza to come to the satsang bed or to bed, but she hears in the afternoon after her day, so she's always present.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yes, Jai Sachidanand Shuddhatma Bhagwan.
Maravilloso.
Yeah. If you can see the river, then you're free from the river. Listen.
Si puedes ver el río, entonces estás libre del río.
You know, the water may flow, but sometimes the water may just go over the banks and flood the...
El agua puede fluir y a veces una vez se embanca y inunda alrededor.
And you know, but you are above the river.
Pero estás más arriba del río.
You see?
Absolutamente.
This is, yes, be there, my dear. Jai Sachidanand.
Simplemente quédate ahí, Jai Sachidanand.
Okay, we go to Lupita. Lupita Carrizales. Lupita. Hola, Lupita.
Hola, Lupita Carrizales. ¿Estás por ahí?
Okay, and Pablo, how are you, my friend? Pablo,
hola, ¿cómo estás?
All right, so let's go to Sunita. Sunita, कैसे हैं आप? Sunita.
Jai Sachidanand.
Okay, Pablo, let's go to Pablo. Jai Sachidanand. Pablo, where are you? Which part of the world are you?
Pablo, hola, Pablo, Jai Sachidanand. ¿En qué parte estás tú? ¿En qué parte del mundo estás?
I am from Tenerife.
Oh, right. Yes, I remember you now. I see you.
Ahora me acuerdo de ti.
And how is the river of Pablo doing?
¿Y cómo está yendo el río de Pablo?
Very well. I am really very good after the Gnani.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yes.
Está yendo muy bien el río de Pablo después del Gnani.
It's we all do your darshan. We see Pablo and we see Vishuddhatma Bhagwan in Pablo.
Todos hacemos el darshan y vemos a Pablo y vemos Vishuddhatma Bhagwan en Pablo.
Yes, Jai Sachidanand. Jai Sachidanand. Yes. So let's go to Sunita. Sunita.
Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand.
My name is Sunita. I'm from Lanzarote, Spain, and this island is very close to Tenerife. And originally I'm from Mumbai, India. And I do understand Gujarati as well. That's why when I was talking to Pujeshri, I told him, Kem cho, Majama. So I even try to listen to many Aptavanis, Dada Satsang in Gujarati, because that is the first primary language he speaks in. Later on, the filter comes to Hindi, filter comes to...
Just allow Cristian to translate, my dear.
Oh, sorry. Si quieres, yo puedo hablar también en español.
Perfecto.
Muy bien. Ok. Lo que yo quería decir es que mi nombre es Sunita Paña, estoy de Lanzarote, de Canarias, España. Y después quería decir que yo original, mi raíces son la de India, en un país en una ciudad que se llama Mumbai. Y después yo entiendo un poco de Gujarati, era de primer, ¿cómo dice? primer satsang de Pujeshri, y después hay un filtro que era en hindi y inglés y después otros idiomas. Entonces, cuando habla Pujeshri en su lengua de original, de Gujarati, la significa es un poco diferente que cuando subir en más idiomas, pero eso no está tan importante. Lo que más me gusta es la de Gnani que yo cogió y ahora mi vida se cambió como fenomenal. Y ya, y ustedes todos son mi familia de Gnani, de Mahatmas, de Vishuddhatmas. Yeah.
Wonderful. બહુ સરસ બેન. So this તમે તમે આ કલ્યાણના કામમાં પણ નિમિત્ત બનો એવી અમારી ભાવના છે. હવે તમે એમને સ્પેનિશમાં કહો.
Ya, él quería decir a mí que yo puedo voluntar para una nimit en este camino.
Yes, good.
તો હવે તો મારી જ્ઞાનવિધિ તો હજી 2-3 days ના છે. Entonces मुझे
નથી થઈ હજુ.
No, થયો 28th the February મને મને જ્ઞાન આપ્યો પૂજ્યશ્રીને.
મને યાદ છે તમે હતા ત્યારે મને ખબર છે.
તો પ્રેક્ટિસ કરવા જોઈએ છે. એ ચરણ વિધિ મારી પાસે નથી અત્યારે, તો હું PDF ફાઇલમાંથી ગોતું છું, pero થોડા ટાઈમ લગ જાયગા.
અચ્છા, તો છે ને just tell them in Spanish and I'm watching.
Okay. Después yo decir a Mahatma que de momento yo no tengo la Charan Vidhi, que era muy Charan Vidhi y Vatsya Vidhi. Lo que más importante para leer después de Gnan, y estoy buscando las páginas de PDF, pero ellos no le dan el concepto entero, pero estás bien.
Right, okay, so you will be receiving the Charan Vidhi pretty soon.
Okay, I would prefer in English, but if not English, then Hindi.
So why don't you send me an email, okay? I just chat માં છે ને મેં તમને એક અત્યારે લખ્યું છે મારું email, so just send me an email, huh, Sunita? So then
Okay, Paco.
So I just told her that get hold of me and I will help her with the English part of the Charan Vidhi.
Le acaba de decir que la va a ayudar con la parte en inglés del Charan Vidhi, que le mandé un mail para eso.
Wonderful. All right. So, Sunita, do you have any questions about this so far, Sunita?
I did have a question, but it got solved with I think Pujya Shailesh, one satsang I attended before. It was about how can I control my ego, because inside me I have 3 self. I have real self, I have ego, and I have relative self. Ego is the one with Prajna Shakti is doing dramas. So that was the question. If you can.
Right. So now tell them.
Sí, si lo puedes traducir tú misma, Sunita.
Sí. Dentro de mí, después de Gnani Vidhi, yo tengo 3 partes. Una es mí, the Atma, otra es ego, y tercero es la relativa, mi nombre, Sunita, que era. Y ahora, el problema es que entra la ego y la relativa, que era Sunita, era el archivo primero de mí. Hay una Shakti, hay una energía dentro de ego y la carpeta, archivo 1. Y esta energía luchando con la ego y a veces no me dejar bien portada por la de carpeta 1. ¿Entiende qué quería decir?
Okay.
Puedo decirlo si quieren.
Okay, Cristian, now just tell me what she said, please.
She told exactly what she told to you. She translated about the 3 parts of the real self, the prajna, and the ego, and how it works within her.
Yeah.
Right. The only thing that you have to get rid of is I have, the word I have, you see.
La única cosa que tienes que liberar en realidad es de yo tengo, es de la palabra o el concepto yo tengo.
Yeah, there is no owner of any of these. You see, in
No,
other words,
no hay dueño de nada de esto, de algo de esto.
in the light of the awareness, you are aware of the non-self. You see, you are the self, you are soyama pura હું શુદ્ધ આત્મા છું અને then મારી સામે જે છે, the one who is in front of me is this non-self complex called Sunita.
En la luz del alma pura yo estoy viendo aquello que no es o es el complejo del no ser, no tengo que liberarme de algo.
Sunita is an effect. Sunita is a discharging process. Sunita is a flowing river, you see.
Sunita es un efecto, es un proceso de descarga, es un río que está fluyendo.
Sunita, if you can see Sunita, if you can see her, then there is no ego.
Si tú puedes ver a Sunita, si la puedes mirar, entonces ahí no hay ego.
If you slip from this seeing process, which is the same as slipping from the agnas, you see, then your feet will become wet. You see, you will enter the river and then it will feel as if it's happening to me, and the ego arises, and that is the discharging ego. It is not a living ego anymore.
Si tú te duermes en este proceso y te duermes en los 5 agnas, tú entonces vas a sentir como que se te mojan los pies en el río y vas a identificarte y entrar en el río de Sunita, pero ese es un ego de descarga y no es un ego viviente.
And in our language, it is called mardal ego. Mardal means it is almost like a corpse. It's like a corpse.
Es un ego que se llama Vidal, que es casi un ego, a corpse ego.
You know, mardal means it's like a dying ego. It's not dead yet, but it's dying.
Okay, es un ego que está muriendo, no está muerto ya, pero está en proceso de muerte.
Yeah, right. You see, the man is still breathing, but he's not dead yet. As long as he's breathing, you say he's not dead. You see, it's like it's a dying. So, you look at the man, he's old, you'll say he's dying. He's not dead yet.
Y es como un proceso de muerte. Dice, el hombre todavía respira, entonces está vivo, pero está viejo y está muriendo, y tú ves que está muriendo, que está en proceso de muerte.
Yeah, you see, this sense that this is happening to me, I am speaking, I am thinking, I have to do this. All of these things are part of the non-self complex. This is happening to Sunita. You see, you are the one you are the one inside who says, Soyama pura, હું શુદ્ધ આત્મા છું.
Este sentido de que esto me está ocurriendo a mí, me está pasando a mí, o yo estoy involucrado en esto le está ocurriendo a Sunita. Tú has sido levantada y estás mirando desde Vishuddhatma, desde el alma pura, lo que está ocurriendo.
An aggressive river will jump over all the rocks that come in its way, whereas a gentle river will move to the side and just flow through, you see.
Un río agresivo va a saltar arriba de las rocas que están en su camino. Un río gentil simplemente va a fluir alrededor de la geografía de las rocas.
Yes, yeah. So as you arise above the river, as you remain above the river, you can see the aggressions as well as the natural flows of Sunita. You see, you can see where she is aggressive and where she is gentle, you see.
Y cuando te levantas del río puedes ver el fluir del cauce de Sunita, ya sea en las agresiones de Sunita, del río de Sunita, o la parte gentil del río de Sunita. Simplemente ves cuando va fluyendo de diferentes formas.
And the certificates are given by not you, but by the rocks, you see, by the rocks, and the rocks are the files in the home, you see.
Y los certificados te los van dando, no te los vas dando tú misma, sino que te los van dando las rocas, y las rocas son los archivos en la casa.
Yeah, you see, in other words, सब कहेंगे वो सुनीता तो बहुत बोलती थी पहले, अभी कितनी शांत हो गई है.
Oh, yes. Yes, yes. In fact, in my family, everybody has noticed. Todos los personas en mi familia también dice a mí, ¿qué pasa? ¿Pasa algo? Hay un cambio. Tu alma está diferente. Tú tienes algo más vivo, más, ¿sabes? Más conectada.
Yes, so it's yes, it's a very beautiful process. This process of awakening is Sari Sunita. This entire Sunita is in front of me. Sunita has become the Gneya. Sunita has become the total.
The drashta. Yeah.
No, not the drashta. The drashya.
The drishya, yeah.
Este proceso es muy hermoso, este proceso de despertar, de que Sunita se está transformando.
Sunita has become the seen and I am the seer, you see.
Sunita se ha transformado en quien es vista y yo soy el que ve.
The seen and
o la observada y yo soy el observador.
And I am the seer. And you see, in Satsang, what is really happening for all of us, my dear friends, is really this process and the exactness with which we really remain as who we are, you see.
Y en este proceso de satsang lo que ocurre realmente es esta exactitud y de ver el proceso de quién realmente somos.
How we energize our own self, you see, how the energy of the self increases magnificently. Satsang is a very powerful rocket fuel for on the path of liberation, you see.
Y simplemente energizamos nuestra alma en el proceso. El proceso de satsang es una verdadera benzina, se dice, gasolina de cohete en el proceso del ser. Es algo muy importante.
Excuse me, let me just ask her something. ये ज्ञान विधि के पहले आप किसकी भक्ति करते थे?
ज्ञान विधि से पहले मैं बहुत सारे प्रोग्राम्स देख रही थी. I have been butking and estoy con muchos cursos de energía. I have done Shaktipat, un curso de Shaktipat. I have done so many things, but only thing that touched me is the Akram Vignan.
Good.
Highest.
So, you're right. So in other words, the river has been going all over and was not going anywhere, right?
No. And in 2014, I actually wrote a message to Pujya Shri Deepak Bhai, can I do Gnan Vidhi if I'm staying in Spain? I didn't get answer because that time it was a different process. After 7 years and so then I got.
Yes, online. In 2014, we were all there in Tenerife with Gnani. We were there. Some of us, Yaya was there, and Juan Carlos was there. And remember, yes, go on.
But I didn't know that Dada Bhagwan organization is also in Canarias. I only know que maybe Madrid, maybe Barcelona, but not Canarias.
Right.
Yo sabía que esa como comunidad solo era en Madrid, en Peninsular o algo, pero nunca en Canarias. Pero el año pasado no, pocos meses antes, yo veo una carpeta o algo que dice que Pujya Shri Dada Bhagwan and muy pronto yo poner una mensaje a Yaya y finish. Rest is history. I just put a message for Yaya and automatic she put me in everything and I got the Gnan Vidhi also. Wonderful. So I'm very happy that we have COVID because of that there was online Vidhi and because of online I got the Gnan.
So what the other name for that is SCE, right?
Bueno, está contando Sunita que en realidad todo a través, ella le da gracias al COVID porque a través de todo este proceso en realidad ella pudo obtener el NAN porque se pudieron dar estos Gnanvidi en línea, y Shuddha le está diciendo que efectivamente esto se llama SC, evidencias circunstanciales científicas.
All right, yeah, right. It's time आ गया, ये time आपका time आ गया था. In other words, your time had come.
Yes.
Yes, it's right.
And when I got the Gnan Vidhi, I just transformed. The energy was like a full burst, like I don't care about anything now. And I am the Shuddhatma. That's it.
Wait. Hold on. There is file 2, right?
File 2 is my family, no? Sticky files. I am
right,
file
yeah,
1.
But yeah, right. But you just, when you say I don't care for anything, you're bypassing Agna 1.
Okay, can I translate for everyone?
Yeah, please. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Okay. Bueno, Sunita está contando que después tomó el Gnanvidi y que para ella hubo como una explosión y que todo cambió y que en realidad ahora como que nada, nada le importa, nada le molesta, por decirlo alguna vez. Entonces Shuddha le pregunta, le dice, pero todavía queda un archivo 2 y los archivos pegajosos, le dice Sunita. Entonces Shuddha le dice, sí, pero todavía están esas cosas ahí.
I know what you mean, my dear. There is so much of flight energy that you feel great. But Agna 1, why do you think Agna 1 has been placed before Agna 2?
Dice que está muy buena esa energía, pero está preguntando por qué cree que el Agna 1, que fue puesto antes del Agna, de todos los demás Agnas.
For demarcation, for you to understand that what you are is relative and what is behind you is Shuddhatma. Era para demarcación o la separación de que yo soy y la alma pura.
But how does it apply? You see, that's true, that's correct. But more importantly, the reason you cannot jump over, you cannot bypass Agna 1 for the world, for the members in the family. You're still Sunita, and Sunita's role has to be performed exactly.
¿Y por qué? Dice porque en principio lo que está diciendo es correcto, pero para el resto de su familia, ¿por qué no puedes bypasear el Agna 1? Porque para el resto de tu familia sigue siendo Sunita y tienes que hacer la performance o actuar el rol que tiene Sunita.
You see, in other words, the reason why Dada gave Agna 1 first and then Agna 2 is because, Agna 1 is extremely critical in terms of continuing the flow as it is without letting anyone be aware that things have changed now, you see. Things haven't changed in the relative. Things remain the same as they are, you see.
Y la razón crítica por la cual Dada colocó el Agna 1 antes del Agna 2 es porque el resto porque las cosas en el mundo relativo tienen que continuar de la misma forma. Eso es.
You see, after the Gnanvidi, if your little one comes and says to you, Mom, I need some money because I need to pay the fees for my tuition at school. You cannot say, "Eu sou Amapura, sou Amapura." You see, you still have to. You still
yes,
have, yeah, right.
Yeah,
In other
that
words,
I do.
Yeah,
The
y se entiende esto porque cuando tú estás después del Gnanvidi, tú no puedes decir que viene tu pequeño a decir, mamá, yo tengo que, o papá, yo tengo que ir al cole y tengo que gastar, pagar la cuenta o pagar el almuerzo, lo que sea. Tú le puedes decir, no sé, yo soy alma pura. Bueno, eso no puede ocurrir.
In other words, Sunita, you're right. I think you got it correctly. The relative roles have to be performed so naturally that they feel as if it's the same Sunita. अंदर भीतर से आप बदल गए हैं. Inside, the whole thing has changed. Outside, the relative interactions continue as they are. ¿Sí?
Y dice que en realidad él lo ha tomado, que Sunita lo ha encontrado, ha tomado de la forma correcta, de que finalmente lo que hay que entender es que fuera de nosotros en lo relativo nada ha cambiado, es en lo interno que ha cambiado y las interacciones afuera siguen de la misma manera.
And in fact, the relative roles cannot be changed. The way the river is going to flow, you see, cannot be changed.
Y los roles en lo relativo no pueden ser cambiados. Los roles en lo relativo, la forma en que el río va fluyendo no puede ser cambiado.
Yeah, the river will flow and the obstructions will come and the river may even, overflow, but you see, you have become liberated. You inside who used to believe this is my river, I have to do this and I have to do this. Now you're free from that. That is the liberation, you see.
Yes, yes, that
Y el
is the
río,
true liberation.
y el río va a seguir fluyendo y las obstrucciones van a venir y muchas veces el río se puede ver sobrepasado, pero eres tú la que ha sido levantada, eres tú la que ha sido sacada desde ahí y esa es la liberación real.
Yeah, and the energies to the other human beings around, just like the energies are conveyed through this beautiful and magnificent awareness to the prayer to the pure soul that we recited at the beginning of this satsang, you see. In other words, the energies continue to be energized through the source. You are the source of infinite energy, and that is how you're going to energize. The other energies of Sunita are relative and are dependent on energies that are not yours, you see.
La energía va a seguir fluyendo hacia ti, eso es lo que está alrededor tuyo, la energía del alma o del ser y las energías que son relativas, las energías que ocurren en forma relativa, son de Sunita, no son tuyas y van a seguir ocurriendo.
Yeah, they are temporary. You see, they are vinashi. They are so highly dependent. You see,
Son temporales, son vinashi, son muy dependientes.
Yeah, they are so circumstantial. You see, the faster you come into the exactness of your own energies, the more blissful you will become. You see.
Son muy circunstanciales. Mientras más rápido vayas a la exactitud de tus propias energías, más dichosa vas a ser.
And there is no other way, Sunita, to approach that. That is through the exact understanding, which is what you and I are gaining in this satsang. This exact understanding, which is with a U capital, U capital understanding. You see.
No hay otra forma de acercarse sino a través del entendimiento exacto o correcto, y eso se produce, y es a través de lo cual estamos yendo todos acá, y esto se produce a través del satsang.
And that U capital understanding is Agna Darshan. You see, it is actually it is not entering into your system through the intellect. It is entering directly from the source within. Your own Lord is gracing you. It is not Shuddha and Cristians that is happening. These are evidences. Your own Lord inside is lifting you up, you see.
Y esto se está energizando desde tu propio interior, no es Cristian ni Shuddha, sino tu propio Dios interior, el que te está iluminando, el que te está energizando para esto.
Yeah, this is the only place where your own energies are rising from within only. Our Gnani Purush Dadashri says, what is yours indeed is what I'm giving you. I say, what is yours indeed I'm giving you.
Y esto está viniendo desde dentro. Dadashri dijo que es lo propio tuyo es lo que tú ya tienes, lo que yo te estoy entregando.
Yeah, your own Lord within you is lifting you up and connecting with you. It is not, these external stuff has hit our intellect a million times and bounced back. Nothing has entered, you see. It is
Es tu propio Dios el que te está levantando desde dentro de ti. Todas estas otras cosas que vienen desde el fuera, rebotado con tu intelecto una y otras veces y han quedado ahí.
Yeah, this is the natural flowering. You see, this is the natural. When the flower unfolds its petals, you see, the fragrance is natural. You don't have to, it doesn't, it's simply there. It's simply there, you see.
Este es el florecer natural, cuando simplemente la flor florece, el olor, los pétalos están ahí, simplemente están ahí.
It is good to see Roberto. Hola, Roberto. Just good to see you. Huh? Yeah.
Es bueno ver a Roberto. Hola, Roberto.
Yeah, good to see you, Roberto. It looks like you're in a car, right? So, Roberto, can you hear us? Yeah.
Parece que está en un auto, sí.
He just
Puedes escucharnos, sí.
Yeah, right. That's okay. That's all right. Roberto just turned his camera off, but he did his darshan, you see. Vishuddhatma Bhagwan. All right. So we continue, or we wanted really to enter into the whole satsang with Dada, and again we find ourselves short of time.
Queremos estar siempre en el satsang con Dada, pero nos estamos quedando cortos de tiempo. Shuddha, I don't know if you can maybe explain a little bit the concept of darshan.
Yes, the darshan is...
Yo le pedí si podía explicar un poco el concepto de lo que era darshan.
The darshan has, literal meaning. Darshan means to see, to view. Yeah, darshan kiya. I just the darshan. To darshan means to
significa see. Ver, mirar.
Yeah, but you see now within each one of us, before the Gnanvidhi, there was this awareness that I am seeing. In other words, through these eyes, I am doing the darshan of a guru or a spiritual master or the president or whatever. I am seeing him, you see.
Y antes del Nan, yo veía que estaba viendo a través de estos ojos, que estaba haciendo el darshan a través de estos ojos, viendo a través de estos ojos, a través al presidente, un gurú, un maestro o lo que fuera.
You see, there was this that was mediated through the light of the self only, but it was highly modified by the intellect and the ego, you see.
Y que está hecho a través de la luz del ser simplemente, pero era altamente modificado por el intelecto, la mente.
Yeah, so even if there was a live Dadashri in front of you, Gnani Purush Dadashri, or a live Krishna or a live Jesus in front of you, it will bounce back. Oh, what? He's nobody for me, you see.
Y aunque hubiera un Dadashri iluminado o un maestro, un Krishna, un Jesús, simplemente tú lo ibas a ver, pero iba a rebotar, simplemente no lo ibas a reconocer.
Yeah, you just see the body, and you see the man only. It does not connect because it bounces through the ego. It depends upon, it does not connect. And when the ego and the intellect leave, the direct connection happens, and the direct connection is with the soul. So whether it is a Jesus or whether it is Dada or Krishna, you're connecting. It just connects directly inside, you see.
Y simplemente iba a ver el cuerpo de esa persona, pero una vez que el ego y la mente o el ego y el intelecto se mueven, se van, vas a poder conectar directamente, ya sea que sea Jesús, Dada, Krishna, vas a poder conectar directamente con el alma, con la fuente.
So even if you were to meet Jesus, the man, you see, walking, and you sit with him, you would see the man only until he speaks, until he says something, and the words allow you to connect. It is the words of the enlightened one that connect you with your being, you see. So whether it is Jesus or Krishna or the Gnani Purush Dadashri, it is the words allow you to connect with the soul, you see.
Y simplemente, por ejemplo, si ves a Jesús y te sientas al lado de él, vas a ver el cuerpo, pero una vez que el maestro hable, vas a sentir al iluminado, al ser iluminado que está ahí, y vas a poder ir al alma, y a través de él vas a poder reconocer a Krishna, a Dadashri, a quien sea que está ahí.
Yes, there is this X factor that cannot be defined. The X factor is the removal of the intellect and the ego. The words of the Gnani, whether it is Jesus or Krishna or Dada, have the power to connect. It's the words that make it connect with yourself.
Y este factor X que está ahí, este factor X es la ausencia de el intelecto y la mente que permiten conectar a través de las palabras con el ser y el maestro que está ahí.
Yeah, it just totally removes the intellect and the ego. The ego in front of the enlightened world, the ego has no place to go except to surrender. That is the nature of the light, the presence of the living one, you see.
Y es la mente o el intelecto y el ego, y enfrente del maestro, aquel iluminado, la mente y el intelecto no tienen lugar. La única rol que tienen es rendirse ante el iluminado.
If even for 1 second, if that ego subsides, then the light of the enlightened one can enter you, you see, and light your unlit lamp, light you up. You know, your lamp is there with all the candle, whatever, all the fuel is there. There is no one to light it, you see. That is the presence of the living one, you see, the Pratyaksh, the enlightened one, you see.
Si aún por un segundo tu ego y tu intelecto caen, aunque sea por un segundo en presencia del iluminado, en ese minuto tu lámpara se prende, tu pequeña lámpara se prende en la presencia del iluminado en ese segundo.
And so then the living one, then the human being suddenly lifts up his hand and says, I see. And so now he is not seeing with these eyes, you see. He is not seeing with these eyes that are covered with leather, you see. He is not seeing with this leather eyes, skin eyes. He is seeing without any covering. He is able to see without any covering, and that is called D capital darshan. That is called U capital understanding, you see. That is called seeing, you see.
Y en ese momento el humano dice, estoy viendo, pero ya no estoy viendo con los ojos, con estos ojos cubiertos con cuero o con pellejo, simplemente está viendo desde otro lugar, y en este minuto está viendo a través de el iluminado.
Yeah, right. So then he is able to see, yes, this is a human being too, just like me, but he is he is much more. He is what I could not see. He has enabled me to see, and therefore he sees much more than what I could see, you see.
Y ahora él dice, este es un ser humano, pero él ve mucho más de lo que yo puedo ver. Él está viendo lo que yo no puedo ver. Él está viendo todo aquello que de alguna manera me está escondido a mí.
Yeah, you see, you enter into the true, this is called being baptized. This is the true awakening. This is the true anointment. This is the final anointment. This is the final awakening, you see. Once that darshan happens, then that darshan, the darshan of the eternal is eternal. The darshan of the temporary is temporary, you see.
Y esto podríamos decir es el bautismo final. Este es es un darsham, el entrar a un darsham de lo real. Hay un darsham de lo relativo, un bautismo de lo relativo, y es relativo, y hay un darsham de lo real, y eso es real.
Yeah, that is our experience. We were all kind of swimming in the ocean with this physical darshan. You see, this what the eyes could see. This what that is what we were believing to be real. You see,
Y esto
and
ha sido nuestra experiencia, íbamos por el mundo viendo este darshan de lo relativo, de aquello que nuestros ojos pueden ver, y en eso estábamos.
and in a split second time within the Gnan Vidi, that which either short for some of us and the full one, which is about 48 minutes for many of us, you see that it really doesn't matter. For one split second, if it connects into the ocean of the self, if it joins the self, then there is no going back to the river, you see.
Y ahora, y eso fue lo que ocurrió a nosotros en el Nambidi, aunque fuera por un segundo, ya sea que fue en este Nambidi más corto o en el de 48 minutos que es más largo, o aquel que sea, si por un solo segundo pudimos rendirnos a esa luz, entramos en el océano de la luz.
So dual darshan has begun within us. One is what Cristian, Shuddha, Sunita sees, Luz sees, and the other one is what I see. I see. Not only I see what Luz is seeing, and I also see much more than what Luz can see through these physical eyes, you see.
Y estamos en este darshan dual. Una cosa es lo que Cristian, Sunita, Shuddha puedan ver, que es lo que vemos, ¿no es cierto? Pero hay otro en que vemos más allá, lo que yo en realidad puedo ver.
In fact, I can see the entire Luz complex. I see the entire Sunita complex. I see every little aspect of what is going on inside. I can see whatever I want to see inside her. And I also see everything outside her too. And I can see inside the room, I see the room, I go outside and I see the sky. You see, this is how it is. I see everything. That is who I am, you see, that is who I am.
Entonces yo puedo ver todo el complejo de Sunita, todo el complejo de luz, puedo ver lo que está adentro, lo que está afuera, lo que está al lado, lo que está en el cuarto, puedo salir afuera y ver el cielo también.
Mine is the unlimited vision, a seam. Mine is without any boundaries, and Sunita's and Cristian's darshan, vision, is limited by the walls of the ego and the intellect, you see.
Y esta es la mirada infinita, la mirada sin límites, la mirada que uno puede ver todo, porque la mirada de Cristian, de Sunita, todo es una mirada que es limitada, está limitada por las fronteras del ego y el intelecto.
My vision, my darshan sees it all, sees everyone as flawless, and Sunita's and Cristian's and Shuddha's vision is limited through the intellect and sees the flaws in the world, sees the faults of others, you see.
La visión del yo ve a todo perfecto, sin faltas, pero la visión de Cristian, de Sunita, de Shuddha, a través del intelecto, de la mente, del ego, ve las faltas en los demás, ve los límites en los demás.
See, and there is much more. My vision is so profound. My vision is Virat. Virat means, Virat is an interesting word. Virat, vision, is what Lord Krishna gave to Arjuna. You see, Virat vision.
Y esta visión Virat es una visión más profunda. Esta es la visión que el Señor Krishna le dio a Arjuna.
Yeah, you see, he gave him the vision that was beyond the limitations of the warrior. Arjuna was a warrior, and he felt
le dio una visión que estaba más allá de las limitaciones del guerrero. Arjuna era un guerrero.
Yeah, and you see, my vision is so Virat. My vision is so boundless that the higher I rise, you see, the higher I rise, the more I can see, you see, the more I can see.
Y esta visión es tan sin límites, tan extensa, tan sin límites, que mientras más alto voy, más puedo ver.
You and I are sitting on the window seat of a flight in an aeroplane. You know, from outside the window at the airport, you only see what's the limited stuff that's outside. You know, the baggage guys putting the baggage inside the plane, etc. You know, and then once the flight takes off, you see, and it goes above the clouds, and you know, you can start seeing so much more. And the beauty of what that's saying is that the history and the geography of that location is left behind. It's just far away, you see.
Esto es como cuando estamos subiendo a un avión y nos ponemos en la ventana del avión, y cuando estamos en el aeropuerto o en la pista de aterrizaje simplemente podemos ver lo que está alrededor, la gente subiendo el equipaje y ese tipo de cosas. Pero una vez que el avión despega y nos vamos sobre las nubes, podemos ver toda la geografía, la historia y la geografía del lugar, y cómo toda la historia y esa geografía del lugar va quedando atrás. Y lo mismo nos pasa.
Vishuddhatma Bhagwan. Darshan is a very powerful thing, you see. The darshan is dual. You see, our dual darshan is simply given as the dual agna. By the relative viewpoint, Shuddha, Sunita, Cristian sees this, and by the real viewpoint, my flight has begun into the world beyond space and time, you see.
Y el Darshan es un arma muy potente, muy fuerte, y tiene en nosotros una visión dual. Desde un punto de vista relativo, yo veo a Cristian, Sunita, Shuddha, Luz, y desde un punto de vista real veo Vishuddhatma, todo lo que está detrás, y nos levantamos a través de como si fuéramos en el avión.
Yeah, this, by the way, the dual darshan part is beautifully explained in Aptavani 12, but also it is coming up in your new Dadavani of March 2021, which is just being shared. Beautiful new darshan coming up.
Y esto se puede ver en el Dadavani de septiembre, parece que dijo el 2012, pero también se va a poder ver en el Dadavani que viene ahora en marzo, que ya va a ser compartido.
And those of you who are new Mahatmas, you see, if you have not become members of the physical Dadavani, you know, in other words, if you have not become subscribers to the physical Dadavani, it comes by air to your home. It is cheaper than the price of a can of Coca-Cola, you say. So please become life members or members of it, you know. It'll come to your home.
Y aquellos, I don't know if it's available here in South America, but anyway.
I think it's not being printed in Spanish, but the English version is.
Okay, but okay. Y aquellos que no se han suscrito al Dadavani, es un Dadavani, eso no se puede suscribir y llega vía escrita a la casa de cada uno de ustedes, y bueno, no está disponible en español, en castellano todavía, pero en inglés sí es posible tenerlo.
Yeah, now we know when South America and the Spanish world wakes up and there is a significant number of Mahatmas, then you know the Spanish version will, Dadavani will come every month. It will happen. It's just a matter of time. You see.
Dice que cuando termine de despertar el habla hispana, Sudamérica, probablemente va a haber una versión en castellano del Dadavani.
Por las dudas, para los muy nuevitos, el Dadavani es la revista mensual, que ya tiene más de 10 años y siempre es sobre un tópico específico. Es la palabra de Dada sobre un tópico específico que sale todos los meses.
Muchas gracias, Mahatma.
Yes. And you know, we were supposed to read about the falls, but we ran out of time. I've shared you the link.
Can I say something, Shuddha?
Yes.
About the Spanish word?
Yes.
We see the German word wakening up. They have already their energizer. And today, by mistake, I entered in the Gujarati energizer, and I saw Dada laughing and joking with Mahatmas. And I would like so much to have that in Spanish. Could you translate that to English, at least for us, and and see Dada talking. We never saw Dada talking.
Yes. I think right. Yes.
Damián le está pidiendo porque entró a un chat en Gujarati por error, que puede no haber sido un
Al
error.
Energizer.
Al Energizer
de hoy en Gujarati.
de Gujarati, y vio a Dada riéndose con el resto de los Mahatmas, bromeando, y que le encantaría tenerlo en español, por lo menos en inglés, que ¿cómo se llama? Que lo traduzca Shuddha, y después Damián lo traduce al castellano.
Yeah, Damian, so timely what you just reminded. My premier love, my most prime love is Dada, and when Dada, Shri Dada is so precious. And his few videos that are available are so absolutely precious, and his, even if you do not understand the words that he's speaking, even if you just see him move his head and his eyes, and as he looks at everyone who is sitting around, you feel that energy, it connects with you, you see. And you should, therefore, you as a team, and you as you have access to the people who are doing all of these translations in Simandar city. You should press for it and say, instead of focusing on translating Niruma and others, you see, let us give priority to the words of Dada, at least if they can be converted into English, you see. The videos with subtitles exactly as they are, can we please release them? I know they're doing, but can you please release them? Give it to us. Or can you share them with us so we start working with it too, you see.
And to whom we should ask that? To Shirish?
No, I think you should just directly send an email to Dimple Pai so that the Gnani will receive it, you see.
Okay.
Okay, we will try.
Silvia.
And and you have access to the Gnani. When you are asked questions to the Gnani, you have the ability to connect to the Gnani. You can say, this is you would like to have access to Dada in English in subtitles, so that you can start converting it into Spanish, you see, or sharing it with the Spanish world. Tell them the Spanish world is this big in this world, in other words, so it's such a major, powerful language of the world, so it is through that is how the Spanish world will connect. And so if you can to go directly, tell that to the Gnani directly, you can write a letter to the Gnani, to email to the Gnani, you see, and he will listen, because this is your team, you see, and then he can just direct the people to say, okay, share it with these people here, involve them, some of them, so that they can start working. Yes. I would love it, this is so precious, you see.
At least for this energizer, today's energizer.
Absolutely. Start with the energizers. Then at the level of this written speech, start with his Apta Sutras, the Sutras, Apta Sutras. His single sentences. And sorry, I'm speaking too long. Do you want to translate that for your?
I will try.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay, it's okay.
Maybe Sunita could translate it to us from Gujarati into Spanish.
No, but I didn't. I didn't speak. No, that wouldn't work. It wouldn't work because Sunita will be able to help, but it requires a base in the Gnan and the Vignan of Dada for a while. This Vignan has to set in for you. It is not a simple translation, you see. Fabi will tell you that more.
Yes, I'm very new, that's why. I just took my Gnani Vidhi.
Yo te ayudo, Chris. Todo lo que está sucediendo, porque nos tenemos que ir además, todo lo que está sucediendo es que Dami está pidiendo ayuda.
Estamos negociando.
Ayuda de Shuddha para lograr traducir ciertas cosas como los energizers que están pasando. Lo que Shuddha dice es que pidamos directamente y que todo eso va a ir sucediendo porque somos cada vez más y lo vamos necesitando.
Son
También
energías
podría...
de dada, ¿no?
Qué
Sí,
diplomática está Mahatma.
ahí voy. Lo que pasa es que hay todo un proceso. Lo que Shuddha está también diciendo es que hay un proceso y hay un proceso de conocimiento y entendimiento de la ciencia para poder colaborar con las traducciones, que no es solo una cuestión idiomática. Hay un equipo trabajando muy fuerte en traducciones y lo que estamos queriendo ver, Damián está pidiendo es, ok, pongamos primero las palabras de dada, desde dada, y después sigamos con todo lo que estamos haciendo. Entonces mi respuesta a vos, Dami, eso es, trabajémoslo directo con Silvia, que es la que habla directo allá, y ahí repriorizamos. Y cuanto más gente con más años pueda ayudar, mejor.
Yes, and there is another thing, Damian and Cristian, Patricia, Fabi. There's another thing which is very important, which is if you really just even as a casual observer, and Lewis also, if you as a casual observer, if you compare the words, the spoken words of Dada, Niruma, Deepak Pai, in terms of the sheer volume, the volume. Dadashri spoke very few words and sentences. You see, he just spoke them exactly as are there. You see, not a single word out of place. You see, he didn't need to speak like Shuddha or Niroma, or he's gone and on and on and on and on. You see, in other words, it's much more easier. But everything is conveyed. There is tremendous amount of energy there because it is brief and simple. Niruma volumized it, and Deepak Bhai volumized it times X. You see, so it's obvious. In terms of getting it accomplished, it is much easier to focus on Dada first. You see, because there are only so many videos, and there are so many words, and and there are so many live things that he said, and it's easy. You will be able to accomplish that much faster as opposed to trying to do the same for Niruma and forget it if you're trying to do it for Deepak Pai.
Lo que nos está diciendo es que si como simples observadores vemos la cantidad de palabras que usaba Dada para decir lo que después Niruma usaba muchas más palabras y Deepak Bai incontables más palabras para llegar a lo mismo, va a ser mucho más fácil y en mucho menos tiempo, si nos enfocamos en eso, traducir esos pocos videos que tenemos y esas pocas palabras que él necesitaba para transmitir la misma energía. Poca palabra, todo el conocimiento. Después Niruma necesitó más palabra y ahora Deepak necesita aún más palabra para poder transmitir el mismo conocimiento.
And the energizers of Dada are phenomenal because they are just simple, but they carry deep meaning, and they'll be very easy to translate into Spanish for your team. I mean, Sylvia is not here. Then if Sylvia is here, the rest of the team is complete. You see, so in other words, you got you got the whole team.
Yeah, but we got South America very feminine Prakriti, so we need to say yes. You see, here women.
But the point is that the goal is the most important thing. The goal is what.
Okay. So I will. La verdad, perdonen todo el resto que estábamos hablando en inglés y todo. Estaba pidiendo un poco lo que dijo Fabi Shuddha, y vamos a ver la forma de presionar un poquito en la India como para que las palabras de Dada directamente sean traducidas al español, que es mucho menos de lo que hay disponible tanto de Niruma como de Deepak Bai, y efectivamente, como dijo Fabi, es bastante más directa la forma de transmitir.
I try not to get into the administrative aspects of it, but I will tell you very simply that you can get the entire the treasure of the English energizers in English that are available. You just get them, just give it to us, just give it to them, then do 10 energizers. Can you do 10 energizers in Spanish? Now 10 energizers shared is 10 energizers. You see, you begin with 10. You always begin with the first step, and then comes the second step and the third step. You see, if 10 are done and all of you love it and say, oh, this is beautiful, another team, so 10, 10, 10, 10, pretty soon you
Yes, it is on its way. It is on its way.
Yeah.
The thing is, we are always much hurry than the workload that it takes.
Yeah, but the energizers, yes, Fabi, the energizers are only simple sentences. They're
I
not,
know,
they're
yes, but we need,
they're less than a paragraph. Yes, see. Yes, Cristian, what you're saying?
No. We need order.
Yeah, right. Look, the river that wants to flow will flow regardless of the number of rocks that are there. You see.
Totally.
And this is no longer the river of Damian or Shuddha or Fabian. This is the river of Jagat Kalyan. This is the river of sharing for my people who speak Spanish. And my people who speak Spanish are not just in Argentina or in Chile or in Colombia or wherever. My people are all over this world, you see. This is how it works, you see. And I am, and this is the relative I has to drop. I am doing it has to drop, has to go away, it is being done, it's happening, and I'm going to focus on how is flowing. I'm just going to focus on the flow, not on the rocks. Okay. Shuddhatma Bhagwan. Highest namaskars to Paulina, Damian, Fabiana, Patricia, Rosie, Cristian, Liliana, Marcelo, Andres, Evangelina, Paria, Paz, Luz, Sunita, Manika, Maritza, Cecilia, Pablo, Cande, and then Roberto, my friend, and Beatrice. Highest namaskars to the Paramatma within you, and may our vision continue to rise for Jagat Kalyan. Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand.
Jai
Thank you.
Sachidanand. Muchas gracias.
Gracias, Cristian.
Gracias,
Jai
Fabi.
Sachidanand.
Cristian, so thank you so much for them. Fabi,
Jai
thank you.
Sachidanand.
Yeah, Jai
Jai
Sachidanand.
Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand. Good to
Jai
have the new
Muchas gracias.
right here.
Muchas gracias, Shuddha.
Yeah,
Gracias
right.
a los
Thank you.
traductores.
Okay, right. Do I need to make somebody the
No, because
okay,
there
right.
is
Okay, no, nothing. Yeah, right. So okay, so
there
then
is no
I'll end the
satsang.
meeting, right? Okay. And good to see the young man with Rose. See, Shuddhatma Bhagwan. Yes. Right, Jai Sachidanand. Yeah.
I gave my email address. I
All
gave
right.
my email
Yes,
address.
I have it. Yes, I will.
Okay.
I will send you an email. All right.
Okay.
Yes. All right. Okay. Thank you. Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand.